Annie Donahue or Ann Marie Donahue, depending on how close you are and how kind of down with you people are. Like once you get to know her, you can call her Annie, but you have to call her Ann Marie until
it's serious.
Yeah, there's serious shit like that. So you are my friend from Los Angeles. You are a comedic actress. You are my improv friend. We were on an improv team together, which is how we met. And we will talk more about that. You are an amazing photographer, and you might have some work here behind you if I can see.
I do, yeah.
I'm going to put you on full screen. So, but more importantly, you're just like hilarious and like living in Los Angeles during the apocalypse. And like as a single woman, I had another girlfriend on who's here in New York. She's from Manhattan and she's a nurse, but you might have watched the podcast, you might not have, but Liz, like she's another single woman during this thing. And I'm sort of just talking to people's different experiences, because it's such a crazy thing. And it's like, I feel like every podcast I listen to right now is talking about the, COVID and all that shit. So it's like, I don't want to be like redundant, but at the same time, you and I got on the phone a couple weeks ago or on a video chat, maybe it was even last week, right? And you were telling me that that it's hard. Like, and this is the same thing for my friend. Like she was going to go on a date and she was going to wear a mask on the date, but she met him on Tinder. She didn't know him at all. So basically like they're just both two people are going to walk into a room with just a mask on. Have you done that yet?
No. I've had so many thoughts on it. So it's a real testing for if someone really wants to get to know you or they just want to
do the deed. Now, let me ask you, are people doing the deed or are they scared?
I mean, I don't know. I've stopped. I'm not really doing it. I just want to talk to people, right?
But does it seem like people are kind of getting together and doing it?
Sometimes, I mean, so basically what happened was these two gentlemen were like, do you want to get together for lunch? And I was like, what are we going to do? Are we going to like wear masks and 6 feet apart?
And where are you going to eat? Like, where do you get together?
Yeah, no, this one guy's like, I don't go anywhere. I work out in my home. And I was like, let me let you know.
Yeah.
And then the next, like, it's really nice talking to you. Do you want to come over for dinner this week? Oh, and he's like, not near my neighborhood. It's not, I don't know him. And I said, I'm really nervous about meeting up with you. And I never heard from him, which means he just really wanted to get together at his place.
I can imagine though that it's got to be like I'm picturing that like when this thing is done, there are going to be like unleashed upon every society, like a slew of the most like pent up.
Yeah. I mean, cause I
sexual like deprivation you know what I'm saying? What I mean, right? Like what's going to happen?
I think maybe some people are. I mean, the thing is like you can get a test, but the test also you get a test. I got tested just cause. It's free in Los Angeles.
There's still herpes and there's
exactly. It's the same thing. But the whole thing here is like, you could be asymptomatic.
I know.
And then this other guy told you, he was like, I'm immune. I think I told you this. He was like, hey, and you want to get together? I'm immune. I'm like, what do you mean you're immune?
You're immune to what? A relationship?
To what, man? And he goes, I'm type O and my family member already had it. And I think I had it for a little bit. Okay. That's a no.
I know.
Yeah. You can get it again. And also like, and he kept saying, so are you in or out? I'm like, I'm out. Peace.
Well, here's the thing about it too, is that they're starting to find out that kids are having different symptoms now too. And I'm sort of convinced that, there's another symptom of it, which is a little bit of a chubby belly that like, I'm noticing all of a sudden, maybe I caught from all the takeout food that I'm like eating.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Comfort eating. Yeah. My belly's so big. Like I'm looking at it and I'm like, my legs are, this is what I said to Mark today. I was like, my ass looks tighter, but my stomach looks fatter. I'm like, that's weird. And he started laughing. He completely disagrees, but like, it looks softer to me. And I'm like, that's not fair. I'm like, that's like, they need to be in concert. But I'll tell you, I think it's because of all of the carbohydrates and comfort eating I'm doing.
Oh, totally.
And the like excessive drinking, which.
Oh, and I brought my little virgin drink just because it's
early for you. You're in Los Angeles. So it's happy hour. I want to wish you a cheers and that I'm so happy to see you. And we've had these great conversations off camera. So I'm excited to have one on camera.
Totally. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers, baby. So
let me turn my light up a little bit, lighting girl.
So, you were saying, and it's something that I wanted to actually ask you about because I never answered the question. You sent me an email and I never responded asking if I'm having it was like a list of things, but it was one of the things that, am I having really vivid dreams? And you know what? I am. And what is that about? Because you were saying that people are.
Yeah. And apparently there was an episode I didn't see, I think CBS Sunday Morning, where they discussed this.
What is this? Is this
the vivid dreams?
Is this the 5G? Have you heard about this?
What's the 5G? Not your phone. She's talking about something else.
No, I am talking about the phone. That apparently, see, you have to catch up on your conspiracy theories. Because
I know. Listen, I know that's a whole nother topic. No, seriously. So back to the vivid dreams. They had an episode on why people, I guess, are having vivid dreams. It must have something to do with the end of the world that we're living in.
Because we're terrified.
Yeah, because you turn on the news and it's like a lot of deaths. And then all these mutations that are happening.
Well, I think we have a lot of stress. I think that's part of it. But like, isn't it weird? Because I never had, it's like narrative. I mean, it's bizarre. And I feel like I'm there. I never had dreams like that. So you think it's because, why? Because we're seeing so much crazy imagery at the moment?
Yeah, and also like we're just put like literally in a box. Now for me personally, I've always had vivid dreams and I want to become a painter later in my life to add to my list of skills because I want to paint these dreams out. I mean, I've had them for years, to be honest, but these are it's almost like every time I dream, it's a narrative. And it's slightly stressful but slightly entertaining as well.
Okay, like what? Tell me your best one.
Okay.
Like a short, like a little, give me what do they call it? The
premise.
The treatment. Give me the treatment.
Okay, so I was walking along. It looked like a lake, like a man-made, like a canal somewhere in the U.S. And it was bright, toxic green water. And I jumped in it to go for a swim. Even though I knew it smelled disgusting, but I'm like, I'm going to go for a swim. And then I get out of it and I knock on a friend's door to be like, hey, I just went for a swim. And they're like, and I'm like, do I smell bad? They're like, yeah. It just jumped in that toxic lake.
And it was weird. Do you know that I'm always, when I have like a lot of anxiety, I'm always in a bathroom trying to use the bathroom and it's gross and I can't go.
Oh, so I know. So we got to like Google, like, what does that mean? Like when you're stuck in your bathroom
or a like line to go to the bathroom. I was at the airport the other day and it was like, I had to go to the bathroom, but the line was really long. And then it was like, all of a sudden it was time for me to catch my plane. I mean, it's like the thing that's funny is that it's so anxiety driven. Like, I mean, listen, I was saying it when we first got on. I had quite possibly the darkest week that I've had since I started this thing. And like,
sorry.
Thank you. But the worst part about it isn't so much that it was like problem after problem after thing after thing after like affront after affront. Like it was just one thing after another this week. But that I didn't have an outlet in the way that like you would have one if you had things happening, right? You could go to yoga, you could take a walk, you could go out, you could go to the bar, you could go meet with friends, you could just like get your mind off of it. And there isn't that. So we're all really confronted at all times and like trying not to sort of circular think and like fixate, right? On shit. Yeah. Like, are you doing that? Are you finding that like, how's your brain?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to tell you about my brain because I've had many, many journeys during this time. So I've been digging deep though. Like I've been going in, I've been doing like a lot of internal work.
That's so good.
But trust me, the first month was anxiety. The title was anxiety. That was the first month because, it's a worry about the future. So like I was having a breathing problem, which really means I'm anxious is what I've noticed from prior experiences.
For sure.
It's like not really a lung issue, I don't think, because I've had my heart checked. I've had it's like, no,
it's you do. You get anxiety and people get anxiety. It feels like a heart attack when you're having an anxiety attack.
Yes. Right? So like I also decided to do like a 21-day abundance meditation thing, like through a friend on Facebook. And it's something you do every day. You have like writing assignments and it really helped.
That's so good.
Yeah. And then month 2 was like more relaxation. I started doing yoga more online again. But to your point, we can't go to a studio. Everything's like on our computers in our rooms. Right? You're not doing it in a park.
Because I haven't auditioned at all because of that. Like, I know that I can do it. I know that if I had to But for some reason, I think I'm feeling so trapped at this point that I almost don't know if I can lose myself in a scene because I feel like I'm in a cage right now.
Yeah.
It's starting to feel like that because I was like you are now at the beginning. At the
Okay.
beginning, I was coming off, first of all, I was coming off so much yoga. I was coming off like a crazy amount of yoga. I was teaching like crazy, which is amazing because I was off. I had done a concert. I had done a big like symphony concert, came back and started like not only teaching my regular classes when I'm home that I teach, but like subbing like crazy too. So that final weekend, I probably taught like 6 or 7 classes. Like it was a lot. It was great. And then so I was fine. I was like, we're going to be fine. It's good. You know, it's like, let's slow it down, you know? And now I'm starting to be like, what on earth is happening? Like, what is going to happen? And what is this about? I mean, there's a part of me that feels like but then I'm so grateful, right? So you're telling me I'm and I keep digressing and I will do this.
No, this is great. This is great. This is how we do it.
Yeah, this is how we do it. But I will do this the whole time. I even do this on the podcast. I ramble and then I let you ramble.
Okay.
But I'm going to go back to what we were really saying, which is the dating thing. And he wanted to go back. He wanted you to come back to his house and and mix it up. And there are definitely people doing that. But what I think is funny is that, you know, it's definitely becoming a thing too. Like I can feel it in the grocery store. So like I go into the grocery store and it's like, even with my mask, it's like guys are like breaking their necks right now, you know, and it doesn't even matter. Like I could be wearing like sweatpants with a baggy ass and like Uggs and a hat and a mask. Like it doesn't matter. It's not. I know. They're just so in heat at the moment.
No, it's like, you know, me and the skirt, like we discussed earlier.
So I wanted you to show, it led me to this story because it is the absolute truth that this is happening. It's the absolute truth that it happened to me, but you have an amazing story about something that happened to you in the grocery store.
Yeah, this is pre-COVID. Guys,
so,
pre-COVID.
Oh, was it pre-COVID?
Oh, it was pre-COVID. Yeah, you mean the story that I told you about the man, the virtual?
Yes.
Yeah, that was pre-COVID. So that's why, that could happen in the sense that I could have a conversation. Yeah, this was pre-COVID.
It doesn't even matter that it's pre-COVID.
It doesn't matter though.
Because this story is so good. And so you're in the grocery store. I'm not going to tell it, but so, which I don't know if you have found, but I was single. So other than the first part and the very last part of me being in Los Angeles, I was single for that whole middle part. And, you know, having a fling and doing a thing and enjoying myself. But not like nobody serious. So I happen to know that when you go, depending on what neighborhood you're in, but for the neighborhood you're in, but pretty much across the board, if you go to the grocery store, particularly at night, like 10, not between like 9 and midnight, all the single guys are in the grocery store.
Oh, this makes sense. Okay.
So they're all getting their frozen pizzas and they're like trying to figure out what they want. And some of them can cook and some of them can't based on their carts. You know what I mean? But I think this is when a lot of these guys shop. So I feel like it can be a little bit of a pickup place. I have been approached at the grocery store for sure. And Los Angeles is interesting because everybody's in their cars. They're not mixing and mingling. So first of all, were you in the Valley or were you in Hollywood?
No, I was in West Hollywood, Fairfax, off that Whole Foods.
I totally know.
It's by Sammy's Camera.
It could have been, and most of the guys you think might be gay there.
Yeah, but it was middle of the day. I mean, you know, West Hollywood's so big though, that there's a lot of, you know.
Oh, totally. But I'm just saying, I think as a single woman, you wouldn't necessarily be thinking, right, that there's a lot of guys on the make there. Yeah.
Yeah. And my usual go-to outfit is a skirt in Los Angeles because I told you I look good in skirts, but also it's usually warm. But I usually look like I just rolled out of bed. I don't do the thing where they're like, wear your makeup like I am today because I'm, you know, looking special.
You are facey today, man.
Yeah, I'm a little facey today.
I do. I like it. I'm not going to lie.
It's also the first time I put on makeup in, you know,
ever. I know.
Besides my rehearsal, which I'll tell you about with my friend for our second episode.
Oh, we have to talk all about that.
Yeah. But anyway, so I
look
like I rolled out of bed. I get points because I have an athletic body. I'm not going to say any quotes or whatever. So in the middle of the day, I ran a photo errand up at Sammy's.
Okay.
And it's right there.
Okay.
So I must have been hungry. It was like lunchtime, maybe one or two. And I was standing in line. I am a half calf drinker for coffee. So half regular, half decaf, which I know is strange, but
Because you have anxiety.
yeah, I have anxiety. I have a little palpitation. And so I was waiting in line. I stand this guy, he's good looking. And then he was also waiting for decaf. We were waiting because they had to make more.
Explain him.
What's that?
Explain him first.
Oh, yeah. So, tall, handsome. I would say he was like probably in his 30s. He looked like Spanish to me. That's how if I were a casting director, I would cast him as Spanish.
As Spanish, he would be in West Side Story. So I have a question. So he was a millennial.
Yeah, I believe, yes, because that's 35 or 38 and under. He was definitely in his 30s. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we were talking because he was asking for the decaf. I'm like, oh, I'm getting decaf too. And I was just working on my networking flirting skills. Like, oh, he goes, yeah, I've had coffee all
you like to breathe air, so do I.
Yeah, and I'm terrible. I think I'm terrible at flirting. I don't really know ins and outs.
It's so hard. Yeah.
I grew up with like 4 older brothers, so I know how to be like a friend, but like I don't really know the flirty flirt. So, but then I just thought, just be nice and talk to this guy or whatever. It's in the middle of the day. What's the harm?
Yeah.
So, he was saying, yeah, I've been drinking coffee all my life. And now I'm realizing it, it makes me jittery. I'm like, yeah, that's caffeine. I go, yeah, I do the same, half calf. So then we were talking and I was saying how I'm a building manager. And he was like, oh, I am too. I'm a landlord. Like he owns buildings. I was like, that's smart.
Owns buildings.
Yeah. Like he's, that's what he says. Again, I'm listening to a stranger.
He works for somebody who owns buildings.
Yeah. Who, me?
No, him. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he probably does.
That's what they do out there.
And he was like,
that's the shit they say out there.
Yeah,
they laugh.
Yes, so smart. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to be heading to Koreatown actually to check on one of my buildings. Mm-hmm. And it was like 20 minutes. And he was like, hey, you're really cool. What's your number? So naively, I gave him my cell phone number because I've been
hilarious. And which
on
is
this earth.
Can I just say, my friend Liz does. Like, she's like, oh, I just met him. And like, he hit me up like right away. And then I was like, oh, that's weird. And then he was like, what you doing, beautiful? I'm like, so I gave him my number. And I was like, wait. I'm sorry. You like met him on what? She's like, I don't know. It was like this like app or whatever. And it was just like, he hit me up. I gave him my number. I was like, these words would never come out of it. Like, oh, hey, here's my number.
Yeah. Usually like on these dating apps, I don't like, I have them give me my number, their number first.
Right.
I'll meet them of course, but for whatever reason, I'm like, sure, here's the number. I've done it before. I've never like been horrified. Sure. And then, so he leaves and I stayed and eat my little meal and I get a text from him right away, like, really nice meeting you. And I was like, nice meeting you too. And he's like, by the way, you're gorgeous. I'm like, oh my God. And so I'm like, yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you.
Hey,
and I'm like, you're handsome too. And he was like, I wasn't sure if I was your type. And I was like, I don't really do like the type thing in the sense I said, well, you're handsome. We had a good conversation. Right. I don't really have a type. Some people have like a physical type. Sometimes, I like my guys tall.
Which frankly, can I just like interject and say that personally, I think having a type is a fetish.
Oh, that's really interesting.
I think we should call it what it is. If you have a type, you have a fetish.
Yeah, because I've seen people that marry the same
only ever date Asian women. Okay. That's a fetish.
Yeah, exactly.
Only ever date like girls who are, it's like, dude, let's just call it.
Exactly. Yeah. I generally do like taller guys, but that's like maybe the one fetish I have, but I don't, the type, but I kept saying them again, like I'm not, I don't generally go by that part. And he goes, well, you're my type, an attractive older white woman. So he had said to me in the grocery store, his dad is Spanish and his mom is African American or vice versa. So I was like, oh my gosh, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking as a commercial casting director, I'm not one, but like in casting, like, oh yeah, I would cast you're ethnically ambiguous.
Isn't that funny? And all I'm thinking is how big his schwanz is.
So then he was like, so he said, then he was like,
I'm being serious. I'm like, oh, it's probably like massive.
That's hysterical. Of course, my brain doesn't even go there. I'm like, oh my God, I would cast you in this commercial.
And not even to say that I want to see it necessarily, but like my brain would immediately go there.
No, I don't really like big. Like
no, I don't even really either, to be honest. But what I'm saying is like immediately that's what my brain.
That's where your brain went.
That was stupid. Even if I wasn't interested in it on any level, it's what I would think about.
Yeah. It's so funny.
Now everybody knows my secret. Now everybody knows how fucking gross.
Yeah. Okay. Cheers to you, girl.
Yuck.
So he was like, and then he brought up that he was like, I didn't bring it up, obviously, but I was like, if he's saying I'm an older white woman, then I was like, okay, clearly he's in his 30s, which is what I guess. And he was like, look, I don't really like millennial ladies. I'm just telling what the man said, but he was like, sometimes they like really soft. He goes, I hope it didn't come off like too strong to you or what. I'm like, no, it's fine.
Oh, they don't like to be hit on.
It sounded like it, like he's
no,
like,
they don't
but some millennial guys, I guess, are softer is what he was saying. They don't do like alpha, really masculine. And so he was like, and then he was saying the young women, he was like, that's not really his jam. He likes the older women because they're confident, know what they want.
Yeah, and we like a man to be a man.
Exactly.
Like that's what we like.
And he was like, yeah. So I was like, that's cool. And I just said, we just talked for a little bit, and then I was like, why is he texting? My brain goes, why is he texting me if he's supposedly working in Koreatown? Like, is he in a lift? Because he texted me like 2 minutes after he left. So I'm like, is he texting while he's driving? Like, this is what I'm thinking. So then I walked to my car and I sit in my car. Oh, and then he sends me a picture of him in like biker shorts,
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, like he clearly wanted to show me he has like a nice physique. I was like, oh my gosh, you're so handsome. I don't really like a guy in biker shorts, but
did you say that?
Nope. But I was like, it was
Mark threatened to buy biker shorts,
nope.
and I just looked at him.
Nope.
I held up Mark's jeans the other day. I was folding our laundry, and I pulled his jeans out, and God is my witness, and I almost took a pic, but I am always giving him so much shit that I didn't do it. But I kid you not, they were this big, and they were this long, and I held them up like this, and I looked at him, and I go, whose are these? He goes, those are my jeans. Then he reads the back. He goes, yeah, 29.30. Those are my jeans.
Wow.
That's my dude. He's got that little swarthy kind of Spanish, like little body too, but he's Armenian, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean when I say Armenian. So picture like that sort of little Latin, like body. But anyway, I digress. So you're like, he said he was going to get biker shorts. And I said, you cannot get biker shorts. Your legs are so skinny. That would just be like so bad. And you would also you'd scare the neighbors. So this guy showed you in biker shorts. Was he trying to show you his package?
I think he was trying to show me his physique. Like he had a former picture where it was a black shirt, black shorts. Like he had just gone biking. And he also wanted to say he's really fit because he's saying, I'm an attractive, older, athletic white woman, So he's like, you cool with me? And then, and then again, just because I'm saying you're handsome does not, kids, to the people of America and the world.
Those of you who enjoy an older white lady.
Oh, an older woman, no matter what race she is, please.
Yeah, there's no women that want that.
Send her what I'm about to tell you. Like, don't do this. If a woman is giving you a compliment, that does not mean she wants to see a picture of your junk on the next photo. Of your whole package.
Okay, so let's just like recap for anybody that has lost this, because I will take us down so many rabbit holes. It's not even funny. Yeah. You basically meet this guy at Trader Joe's. You're wearing your skirt.
Whole Foods. The Whole Foods on Fairfax.
Sorry, the Whole Foods on Fairfax, which I'm
the big one. The nice store,
not the parking. The one with the shit parking? Or did
it's
they change?
Shit parking, but the store is huge. It's pretty big.
The store is amazing, but the parking.
Yes, it's shit because there's also like a Rite Aid or a CVS. You know what I'm talking about. That parking lot's crazy. I couldn't believe
that's the one. Parking. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's Fairfax and maybe.
There was another one that I don't know if it's still there, but it had another one. The point is this. So you go to the Whole Foods. You're like reaching over like, the Honey Crisp apples, and so is he. And like
coffee.
Other coffee. And he notices your skirt.
But we're standing next to each other because we were waiting for decaf coffee.
You have you have good legs, let's be honest.
Yeah. I have great legs. I've got a nice bum as well, but that's where the score comes into play.
That's where the score is hooking you up.
Yep.
Making it distracting for anybody trying to get half calf.
Exactly. And you got to wait because they have to make more. So we're like, boop, 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 boop.
And he's like,
he had time to talk.
He's feeling you. And he thinks about 10 minutes later that you want to see the Schwantz that I said was probably big. Was I right?
Yes. And it was huge. Note to everyone in the world. Most photos of penises are not the most attractive.
Nobody wants a photo of your penis.
No.
Let her ask. Let her ask. Let her say, I want to see it. Show me it. Now, just be warned, though, gentlemen. If she says, I want to see it, there's a good chance she's got her girlfriends with her or like a bunch of people hanging out. I don't know too many girls that want to see it. Maybe they do. Maybe they do.
I mean, I think if you're intimate with somebody sometimes and you're having fun with the sexting, it's amongst you two, you're at that level.
Yeah, and you're familiar with it and it's already kind of hooked you up.
Yeah, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But like en general with a stranger, don't do that. So I went,
don't do that.
I just was like, I just deleted it. I blocked him. I was horrified. I actually texted these other two girlfriends. I was like, because I told them, hey, I met this cute guy in the store, and oh my God, and blah, blah. And then I went, oh, never mind.
Never mind. He sent me a picture of his dick.
He sent me and then my friend called me, and she's like a love coach, and she's like also like really protective, and she's like, let's talk about like your safety.
And how did that make you feel?
Right. At first I felt a little judged by it. And then I was like, she's right. She is right.
And here's the other thing.
But it made me creeped out, you mean. But you mean the part about giving up?
Yeah, the fact that like a guy would do that. How did that make you
total. I was like, this person is a predator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. So yeah, my reaction when I got the thing was like, ooh, predator. Like, and you have a fetish or something because you think this is cool to do. Like,
well, here's the thing. The one thing that I will say is that women over the age of 40.
Yeah.
Honey, present company. Cheers to that.
Cheers to women over 40.
Oh, girl.
Amen, honey.
I'm good with it.
I'm good. I'm going to get even better.
I am so good with it. And girls, for those of you who are listening who are not, and they either are or there will be some of you, trust me.
Yeah, trust me. It's really bumpy in the 20s.
You just got to take care of yourself so that you're still killing it at 40.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Still got the
yes, honey. So that you're still adorable and you're still, and it's possible. It's not just your genes. Like I got lucky. I had good genes. There's no question. I had good genes. It has nothing to do with me. And I know that. Like I obviously, I'm adopted, so I don't know, but I obviously had parents that like probably came from people who don't age quickly, right? So
right, yeah, me too. Thank the Lord.
Right. So it's like, fine, I didn't age quickly, but I also took care of myself.
But I also like my core, my legs.
Yes, and I went to the gym and I took care. I did I moisturized and I drank a lot of water. And I smoked some cigarettes, but I didn't smoke cigarettes like it was my job. And I drank a little bit, but I didn't drink like it was my job. And I kept my weight at a certain thing.
Yeah,
I will tell you, at 40, I'm still killing it. And
yeah, girl, you are.
I appreciate that. I'm just not even saying it like, listen, everybody had it. I'm not probably some people's type, but I feel good for my age, just like you feel good for your age. I'm still killing it in the sense that like I can still teach, an hour and a half Bikram class and I could do 5 in a row if I needed to, and I could take it and I have a young boyfriend and I'm still making music and I still feel, I'm still being cast younger, but the thing is that as a woman feeling viable sexually, because your body does change even if you take care of yourself, right?
Yeah,
so like it totally changes.
Times change for sure.
Everything, your hormones change, you know what I mean? Things change. So it's like you have to feel good in your skin because there are things that you absolutely don't have anymore. Like there are things that go away, but I was so clueless as to how to handle any kind of like sexual relationship or my own power or like being in my own body or like any of that shit when I was young. I did not understand it. I was always in the throes of some kind of drama with a dude. I was always feeling insecure. I was always worried about my body and if it looked. I have more flaws on my body now than I did when I was like 25. But the truth is like I walk around like I'm fucking Elle McPherson.
Exactly, girl. Confidence. All the women out there, again, to all the young women, it's confidence is key in a lot of it.
Put your fucking shoulders back.
Yeah.
Put your shoulders back.
Mm-hmm.
Lift your chin. Pull your belly button to your spine. Put your shoulders back and look somebody in the eye and be in love with yourself. You know what I mean? But you touched on something that I actually want to visit because you were saying that millennial crew, and he was saying before he showed you his penis and completely like.
I was like, how to ruin a date in 30 minutes. That's how you do it, kids.
Yeah, like
With
especially
an intelligent, funny, lovely woman.
yeah, and a woman that like is gonna rock your world, like frankly,
Yeah.
because I'm like mature and know what. Yeah, so you're stupid, but like what he was saying, like before all of that was like how women his age,
Yeah.
and I'm paraphrasing, but just to sort of say like they're not really into the alpha male thing now. I get that in the terms of like women don't want to be manhandled and they don't necessarily want to be treated
Yeah.
like they're inferior and they don't want to be spoken down to. But there are a lot of us that still want to be treated like a lady, that still want a man to be a man, who appreciate chivalry. And from what I understand, this younger generation of women like says shit to a man when he just tries to like hold the door for her.
Yeah. See, what does that mean?
Is that bizarre? Is that the
Wait, so they make
crazy?
them feel bad for
Yeah,
holding the
I can
door?
get my own fucking door. This
You can't have
has
both.
been said to Mark, or else I wouldn't have believed it. Because
Oh.
I've heard this. I'm moving my lighting because it's in my
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, he was. Yeah. That makes sense. Then that's going to
Yeah.
make guys feel really bad because you can still be chivalrous and be believe in feminism. That's like no problem.
No,
Or
you
whatever.
don't have to treat a woman like she's stupid or like she doesn't deserve to
No.
be paid the same or that she's not somebody who's completely
Yeah.
capable of like handling herself. But I will tell you something. I'm burping. As a woman who's done both, who has been every woman, it's all in me, and then also a woman in like very sort of long term, like living together relationships. I've done it both. I don't I've never chosen a man who would treat me that way. And if anything, I almost have to like remind men to still be gentlemen now because of this. Like, I feel like a lot of moms are not raising their kids to be gentlemen.
This is
They're not giving them good manners. They're not holding them accountable. They're not teaching them how to like, maybe the father should be teaching them how to treat a lady. And listen, these young girls who are saying, don't hold the door for me, I'll pay. Like, I've heard, and I don't want to say who it is,
Yeah, no problem.
but I have heard people in their mid-20s talking about this. I'm using their words. This fucking like guy who like kept like trying to buy me drinks, and I was like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, stop fucking buying me drinks." And you know what I said? Why wouldn't you just let him buy you drinks? Let him pay for your drinks. You're there with like 15 girls. Now, if the guy creeps you out and like, but this was somebody. No, this was somebody they were hanging with. This was somebody that they obviously liked.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she acted like it was like she made him feel bad about it.
Oh.
So then I meet a guy, then I meet that very same guy, and I'm older.
Yeah.
Trying to hit on me, and he's not buying me a drink, and I'm thinking to myself, the fuck is wrong with this guy not trying to buy me a drink? What are you like raised by wolves?
Yeah, especially on the first like few dates. Like I get it if you're maybe into the relationship deep and you do some double dutching sometimes. When you're
absolutely, that's not what I'm talking about. No.
I got you. Yeah.
And I'll pay. I'll offer to pay. I don't mind.
Yeah.
It's not
That's
that
interesting because I live with a millennial, my roommate. I mean, she's like of the millennial age, and she believes like what we believe, like the man should buy your drink.
But she's not American.
She is not American. We'll leave her name out of it. But yeah,
we will. But she's not American, and they're raised a little with different value in a good way. Like
Yeah, that's it. This is interesting. Now, I have friends that have kids that are younger in the teenager years, and I'm witnessing them raising them well. Really, like the fathers are speaking to the sons, the mothers and the daughters. Do you know what I mean? Like
I feel like there may have been a backlash.
I wonder.
I think our generation are starting to have a little bit older kids and are starting to see what like is happening. And I think that they're starting to say, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Actually, like you don't get to be a bonehead like always. And you don't get to speak to women that way. And you don't get to not get dressed when you're going to grandma's house or when you're going to church with us or when you're whatever those things are that the family does together. Actually tuck in your shirt. And, you know what I'm saying? And you're seeing parents do it. And look, I'm covered in tattoos meantime, right? So I'm not trying to set, right? I'm not the last person to be like, and you must conform.
Yeah.
But we were like raised, I mean, you were from Philly. So were you sort of more traditional? Your parents were a little bit older, right? Because you had older siblings.
Yeah. So my parents, so I grew up in a suburb outside Philly. We were all born in Boston, and then we relocated to Glenside when I was young.
You seem like you're from Boston to me.
Yeah. Well, it's like that's where
Irish thing. Yeah.
the Irish. Yeah. So my dad's like grew up in New England, and then my mom's from the Bahamas. But yeah, they're more conservative in the raising of us for sure. Manners.
Yeah.
How you speak to your elders.
Yeah.
Respect everybody. I mean, there were rules like
Dress appropriately.
Absolutely. Like
That was big.
Our parents took us out to dinner on purpose so that we would learn social norm of how you act in a restaurant.
Yeah, but here's the difference
which is great.
Parents now let their kids run around. Were you allowed to do that?
No, that's what I'm saying. They were
Me
like,
either,
this is
man.
how we were doing it at a dinner table in a restaurant. He was like, elbows out the tables. I mean, in a good way, because that's, I think, how you learn how to behave in the restaurant. And so back to my friends that are raising, they're now like 13 and 16-year-olds. I saw them raise their kids as little children in these restaurants, and they did well as well. They did like what my parents did.
Because you'd go with them and you think to yourself, oh my God, this is going to be brutal. And then they were good. And you thought
they were lovely.
Awesome.
They're actually waitresses, and waiters would compliment them like your children are so well behaved. So they're also kind of that ilk, they're trying to raise their kids like our parents did. And of course we think, our parents are so strict. I get it now. I totally get it.
Yeah, I get it now too. My mom was like, my mom was insane, dude. She was so strict. But you know what?
Yeah, mine was too.
Yeah, in a lot of ways it was really good. I mean, there were mental health issues that like made it crazy at my house, but I was raised very traditional. And I'm glad,
totally traditional.
I'm glad that I was.
Me too. I feel like it helps with fitting in, not maybe fitting in isn't the right word, but really, being
ingratiating yourself with people who are not like you or not you, or you can sit in a room and be classy, and dress for like. So so I'm showing my cleavage. I'm going to point out.
Girl. I got my little cute little scalp neck on, but you look good, girl.
Thank you. But so this was something my mother would always do.
Yeah, mine too.
You were not allowed to show the boobies. You were not allowed to show the line. Now, even this, I do this because I'm 100 years old now and nobody's looking at them. But
no, I mean, you should do it again. Confidence. If you
and I feel good, but I guess I'm older now, and in a way, it just sort of feels like they're just tits. But when I was in my, I never any pictures of me with my band. You never saw shit, dude. I was always dressed in a rock concert T-shirt and a pair of jeans and boots, and no makeup, and that was what I, because I was worried that my mother would.
Totally, I get it.
Yeah,
I totally get it.
So you grew up in Philly, and you came, so kind of more like not on the main line, but on the outskirts.
Yeah, so it's literally a suburb north of Philly, 30 minutes, called Glenside. It's next to Arcadia College, which used to be called Beaver College.
I remember I played there back when it was
Beaver. Then they changed it.
We loved it. We were like an all-female band playing Beaver College. We were so
amazing. And the architecture is gorgeous. All the stone houses.
Stunning. Mm-hmm. And Philly's a great city.
It's a great city. It's it's kind of overshadowed a little bit by New York, but it's the first city of America if you want to really talk about it. I mean,
I don't know, man. I love hanging out in Philly.
The founding fathers started there, the Declaration of Independence and all that jazz, and then they moved to DC. But
so how long were you in Philly? When did you leave?
I left Philly when I was 28. I lived in Maine for a little bit, but I moved to California when I was 28, so in 1998.
Because I was going to say to you, you got to spend some time in Philly as an adult.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it's a great city.
Did you act? Sure. Did you do any acting or any comedy there or anything?
No, I didn't. So I started acting later when I moved to California. I've always wanted to be an actor when I was a kid, but I didn't study it in college. I mean, my parents wanted me to take a little bit more of a traditional route. So you know how that goes.
I do, yeah.
And so, they're paying for my college. So they're like, I don't know about that. So I just did communications, and then I did a minor in French, and I actually studied abroad in France for my senior year. Again, another message to everybody, please study abroad. Tell your kids to study abroad. This is something that will make you so much more open-minded as an adult.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Absolutely. And speaking another language, the fact that I know.
And then even if you don't, say if you go to another English-speaking country, fine. You're going to learn about that culture in that country.
You're right.
Different from America.
You're right. Because I think it's super important that kids are exposed to other cultures, and they learn the traditions of other cultures, and they learn, and especially the French, because nothing will straighten you up faster than a fucking group of French people. They will just be like, what is this? What is all of this?
I mean,
What
everything
is this?
Yeah, the loud voice of an American versus the French. I mean, I had the fortune that you live with like a family.
Yeah.
So I lived with an older, cute couple, Josette et Claude, and they were working class French people who did not speak a lick of English, which is great because I really got to learn the French. And they were in southern France, which is basically like a French person coming and maybe living in New Orleans and learning like a New York accent, and then and it's like a twang a little bit. So the accent's different. So I struggled in the beginning, like, what are they saying? So like you say like, tu bois du vin, which means you want some wine or you're drinking. Right. But in the southern France, it's like, tu bois du vin. I'm like, what?
Oh no.
Yeah. And so I didn't understand what the man said when he was like, what's your name? And I was like, what? And even though sentence in school, he's like, your name. And I was like, so I had to pick up. Yeah, so I think probably when I speak it now, it's probably got a little Southern French accent. But
Italian's the same way.
Same, right?
Yeah.
So I had a housemate who was also, we lived in the downstairs, and she's actually a really good friend of mine that lives in Pasadena. We've been good friends ever since.
That's amazing.
But it encouraged me to literally speak the language because they did not speak English. Some kids were living in homes where the French family was like, can I practice my English on you?
Right.
And they were so amazing. Like Josette was such an amazing cook, and the whole French, I mean, their dinners. I mean, the lunch is the big meal, but we didn't get lunch. We got the breakfast and the dinner, and it's just the dinners. Like,
isn't it really late too at night?
It's late. Yeah, it was later.
Yeah.
And then they do like the meal, and then they do the salad. It's just so interesting. And
I lived in London.
So you lived in London. Okay. That's a great city. Jeez.
Yeah. I lived in London for almost 3 years.
Wow. I lived in Avignon.
Oh, it's amazing. I love France and I love Italy. Those are the two. I would love to go back there and live. And I had been talking for a little while to go to France. I had 2 different trips. One with a friend of mine in California that didn't work out because financially I just couldn't swing it at that time. And you just don't want to go without enough money. Like, that's how I feel.
I know.
It was like, and it was when flights were 10 grand and we probably would have spent that in the time that we were there. And it was like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't keep up with her. And I didn't want to keep her from having the vacation she's used to having. So but then again, my sister-in-law and I kept talking about, we wanted to go to the Lavender Fields. You know how
I know.
Once a year they do the Lavender Fields. We've been saying that for years too.
Yeah. That's like in the summer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, either Italy or France would have it, but I guess is there a specific spot?
There is, yeah. I don't remember where. She knew, and she kept saying. But in Italy, I had a friend who was a mentor to me and an investor, and just like, and he was my angel. He was my guardian angel. His name was Bob. He was a hotelier, and he had a Tuscan castle.
Oh. Man, that's the way to go.
I was not fucking him. I just wanted everybody just to be clear. He was like a father to me. I loved the shit out of him, and he was amazing, and he had a beautiful wife. But he had a Tuscan castle, and he let us come and stay, and he had like little houses on the property, and he had his house on the property, and it was acres and acres and acres of sunflower fields and vineyards. It was. I would kill, to be able to see it again because I fell madly in love with it. And this man, so I was having these thoughts because you are, and it leads me to this, which is why I bring up Bob. His name was Bob, rest his soul. He passed away. And I was told very long after it happened, and it was really kind of devastating. But
oh no,
Bob was this beautiful person in my life, and I think about him all the time, and I talk about him all the time. And I only got to see him again probably about a year before he passed. So I hadn't seen him. It was just it was brutal. But the thing is he came into my life at a time, and I was thinking about this today, and then I was going to ask you this question. He came into my life at a time that and I feel like ever since I left my band, I have been doing this contemplating where I fit in the industry, and not so much by their standards, but by my own, right? Mm-hmm. So you get to a place, right, where you do this thing and you're kind of sucked into the machine, which is what happened to me, and you're spun around, and then whether by their choice or your own choice, you come out the other side and you just go, okay, I don't even know what happened there. I was so young. I had no idea. But you're tired and you're wrung out a little bit, and you've got now ideas about the industry and about yourself, and maybe you're a little jaded, and there's things that have happened to you. So that like that naivete and that wonder is gone on some level. And then, so you're trying to figure out like, how do I be, because I'm an artist, so how do I be creative, continue to be creative and find my avenues? And one of the ways, it's like, so you go, and now you're almost 30, if not, yes, you're almost 30,
yeah.
and you become an actor, you're going to start doing it. And then I want to fast forward a little bit, because a couple of years later, we met in Los Angeles and we were doing improv together. And this was around the time that I met Bob.
Oh, that's when you met Bob. Okay.
And I was trying to sort of be in a different lane. I wanted to do comedy. I wanted to act. I wanted to write a book. I wanted to do like different things. And so I planted myself in Los Angeles and I went to UCB. And then I came out of UCB not even really being clear about if I was any good at this thing or even what that meant, because a lot of the improv training is about not trying to be good.
Right.
Right. So
open.
So you don't know if you're good, and it's not about,
ending.
and it's not, yeah, you're yes anding, and it's not about being good, but you're fighting being in your head, and you're fighting trying to be funny because you're not supposed to try to be funny. And it's like, you know, it's a head trip, but it was amazing. And I auditioned for a few teams and I got on a few of them. And one of them was this team with you. And this is
great.
Uncle, Mr. Daddy.
Mr. Daddy, we named it, it came up from an improv session, like our practice.
That's right.
At your house, it came up Mr. Daddy. It was me and Carlos, we were doing that scene.
That's right.
And then we said, why don't we name the team Mr. Daddy?
I thought it was hilarious. Mr. Daddy. So it was in one of our scenes. So the way that this works for people who've never like either seen it, because in Los Angeles, it's huge, right? And so UCB has the line down the block, and you and I used to meet up at La Poubelle, and we would go see it. And La Poubelle, we would sit and have a drink, and sometimes we'd go see improv, sometimes we wouldn't, sometimes you couldn't get in, but that was where I graduated from. Did you go to IO?
No, I didn't go to IO. I went to UCB as well. And then, I did. And then I also went to Miles Stroth, the school there. Yeah. But I really finished, I went to UCB, so I finished all 4 levels. Tiffany's the one who told me, like, you should do improv. You know, you'd be really funny at it. I was so scared the first 2 years of doing improv, by the way. It was like horrifying to me. And I just felt like I failed every day. And I was like,
me too.
My voice was shaking on stage. I mean, I loved it when like we got together. I mean, we had so much fun on that team.
I feel like we just understood each other. And
we understood each other. When you open the scene, when you're like, I want a meatball sandwich, I was like, here we go.
Perfect.
I'm like, got this. Yeah, and my confidence was better during that time. The first 2 years to 3 years were truly a struggle for me because it's really frightening.
It's frightening, and it's like there's no right way other than...
Yeah, there's no right way.
No, and it's like you're finding your way. But I think what you do is that you find chemistry between people. So I got on a team at Neon Venus that was like doing...
That's right.
That was the big, like they were doing the every like Friday and Saturday night, and they had their house team, and then they'd have teams from the outside come and perform. Yeah. And I was on the house team on Friday nights, and we were the Kick Biscuits, I think we were called the Kick.
That's a great name too.
And they were great, and they were fucking really great, and they were getting a reputation around town. And I got to be in that group too. And I will tell you, I don't know if I was ever any fucking good at it, but I had so much fun. And there were times I laughed so hard, and I met the greatest people. I made friends, you know, that I feel like I'll have forever. So you at that point, you were in San Francisco and you were doing some acting in San Francisco. I know you were doing some theater.
Yeah, theater. So that's really where I started. I studied Studio ACT. So not ACT, the master program, but you know, the evening program. And that's where I learned acting. And then I auditioned for plays there. And I was in, you know, my first role was Babe in the Crimes of the Heart.
I'm going to tell you something. When every time you tell me that, I have the same response. Like, who would not want to play that?
I know.
Babe.
I know. And then the cast was just incredible. It happened to be like this really wonderful woman who was also like an LA actress, and she was living in the Bay Area. All the other actors were supreme. And I was just like starting out. I was so grateful. And then before that, I had done like a Tennessee Williams workshop, and I got to play Laura, Glass Menagerie. So I was like in heaven. You know what I mean? So yeah, I learned kind of the roots.
Beautiful, beautiful roles. Yeah. So
And
I dated a guy who went to Cal Arts.
Yes.
I was always going, like, I went to go see him do a play there too, but I've seen other things that he's in like over the years, and I love little theater.
I know theater. I know. I agree. And little theater.
Little theater.
Well, just like your fabulous rock opera, it was fantastic here.
Did you enjoy that?
I loved it. I went twice. Remember, I brought my friends. I'm a big fan.
What?
It was amazing. But you clearly have acting chops as well, my friend. So.
Thank you, love. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I love acting so much,
It makes sense. You're a singer-songwriter. It makes sense that you would also have the acting.
I like telling stories.
Exactly.
And I like talking, and I like, you know what I love more than anything? And I think it's why I love the improv. And maybe you understand, you'll understand what I mean. I know you will, but maybe you can like expound upon this. That thing that happens between two people who are connecting.
Yes.
When two people are listening and two people are watching and two people are in the moment, and you really feel safe with someone, that they're feeling you and they're reading you, and they're not gonna let you fall, and you're not gonna let that. It's like that sort of energy is making music. It's all the same thing, and that is rare. I even think it's rare at the highest levels, right? When people have chemistry.
Right. Totally. I agree with you.
Because you're doing this thing right now. You're doing this thing that actually I think you guys have amazing chemistry. And
Thank you.
So funny. And there's only one episode, right?
Yeah, there's only one episode. Well,
you guys you've been in quarantine. Get it together.
No, we're working on a quarantine episode.
Oh, good.
Yeah. No, it's just that it's challenging. So we've been testing, because part of the joke is that it takes place in Zoom on purpose. So it's yeah. So the one sister won't let her other sister in the house, even though she lives in her pool house. So we had to do all these tests because we're lighting each other and then testing a Zoom. It's been a bit challenging, but also
because you have to look the same. Like it would be funny though if one of you was like super dark and like one of you, because that's the truth.
Maybe. Well, we filmed it last week, but we noticed like it was just really blurry. So we're like, okay, let's regroup. Like I'm shooting it on a newer iMac now. It's just some little glitches. Also, I think it's just the Zoom program. Like,
yeah, it's hard. It's a really tough thing. I don't know how people, I don't know.
Because the thing about the quarantine is like, everyone's like, when's your next one? Aren't you doing 4? It's like, okay, first of all, it takes time to write. So we have it written. It's great. We've practiced it. And then it's just that now as the actor, you're the lighting person. You're the sound person. We're directing each other.
Oh yeah. So it's called Three Damn Blondes.
Yeah. DAMM.
DAMM, because it's the sisters' names.
Yeah.
What are the 3 names of the 3 ladies?
It's Marilyn, Meg, and Marcy.
Damn. And
I actually thought
it's very funny. How did you meet these ladies?
It was in different acting classes. Scott City to act school, and then Judy Kane. She's Keep It Real Acting is her school. So yeah. And so the one sister was like, oh, you look like we look like sisters, or we could be sisters. So then my other friend, she started, writing the first episode. So we wrote the first one. And then me and Michelle wrote the second one. Yeah.
And the first one is where? Where can people find it?
Oh yeah, YouTube. On YouTube. Just go to YouTube. We have a channel on YouTube and we have a Facebook page. So follow us at both places for sure.
3, the number, or 3 written out?
Yeah, the number. The written, not written out. The number 3. 3. Yeah.
3 Damn
The number
Blondes.
3 Damn Blondes. Yeah.
DAMM. But we'll also put it up so people can see.
Yeah, perfect.
It's very funny, and I think that this is something. So there's a theater. So okay. So I'm not going to say exactly where, but I live in upstate New York.
Yeah.
Now.
I know.
With my boyfriend, and it's like fine. I love my boyfriend.
Yeah, it's great.
He's amazing, and I love being away from the city. That's amazing. It's cold as shit here. The weather sucks, so that sucks. But there's a theater here in my town that's kind of, and they do theater.
You know who might live near you? Well, I know upstate's really big, but Lily Taylor lives in upstate New York.
She's somewhere around here.
Yeah, she's in like Red Hook or something. Is that the right?
Maybe. No, Red Hook's Brooklyn, I feel like.
Oh, sorry, I have the wrong term, but she lives in upstate. I just thought of that when you said theater. I'm like, maybe she has a theater company you could work like.
No, but I was thinking maybe I'll put on a play.
Yes, do it.
Why not?
Why not?
I'll hire a director.
Absolutely.
And we'll do it up here. Because you know what made me think of it? Crimes of the Heart. I want to be in it.
There's nothing like theater. At the end of the day, I still love the theater. I mean, I definitely want to be back on stage one day for sure.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. It's funny because, so I'm doing this movie. I'm doing the movie version of the play.
Oh, yes. I hope
We'll see. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. My concern is that they're postponing it for the summer, and then in the fall, this whole shit's going to come back, and then we're going to be sorry that we did that. Either way, the thing will get made. I know that it will, and we'll see what happens. I mean, with this little chubby tummy on me right now anyway, I have to get rid of that thing. So
it's called chicken and broccoli, I guess. It sucks. I get it, dude. I love pasta and rice. I know.
Listen, I'm like, yeah, maybe a little sugar in my coffee. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and then like the wine. I know wine is sugar.
Yeah, I love wine, and things are happening. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Girl, you don't have to hear from me. I completely understand.
Yeah, and it'll be fine. The other thing that I always said is like, listen, I never let this happen because I always had an upcoming gig or an upcoming thing, or so I could never, but like, when am I going back to work? I have no idea. So I'm letting myself do some things that I don't usually let myself do. And it's amazing. It shows, like, even though I've been working out, it's not that bad. But what I was going to say is this, we're doing a movie version of it. And so that should be fun, but the theater version of it was really cool, and it would be interesting to do it again, to do that again. It
was amazing. Honestly, I loved it so much. I mean, you brought so much life to that character. You guys talk about chemistry, and I mean, the talented musicians, all of you. It's amazing. Everyone has to go see it.
Parallel Worlds is the name of it. Yeah, it was awesome. So you're doing. And then the photography thing. I want to talk about this with you.
Yeah, sure.
One of the things I was thinking about today was like, so I was thinking about Bob, and Bob came into my life at a time that I was trying to sort of figure out, because I had been very, very hurt. Not the music business. You know what's so funny? The music business embraced me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, yeah.
It's not that they didn't, right? And I didn't get dropped from my label. I left my label. My sort of bad taste in my mouth was because I was in a band of women who were really harsh, to be with. And they ruined the experience, like, as far as I'm concerned. And I ruined the experience too. Like, it was mutual. We all did. Like, it was just, we were like oil and water, like this crew. And so it's a shame because we had, and I always say, like, when lightning strikes, you don't always know who you're going to be standing next to. And you don't really get to choose that. And unfortunately, lightning struck, and I wasn't like in a crew of people that like I enjoyed their company. So the industry wasn't the issue. The industry was always very good to me, but I had this like crazy like confusion about, I want to be an artist. I know I'm an artist. I have to be creative. I'm going to go and I'm going to act. That's what I'm going to do. And I got very lucky. I got to do I worked,
Yeah.
And it was fun. I didn't pursue it super hard, but when I auditioned, I got parts, and
I
was still trying to figure it out. But I do also think, and this is what brings me to this, there's something to be said about diversifying and not making any one thing your end all and be all. And I think as artists, especially artists who have had we've endured like through a lot of stuff and just continue to be artists, I think it's helpful to share with younger artists who may be listening, like, I think that when you start getting too much tunnel vision about who it is you are and what it is you do and what you can say yes to and what you will say no to and why, and all of your integrity and your earnest sort of pursuit of like, art versus commerce and all of this shit, right? That we all do, that I've done a million times over. I think there's something to be said about finding outlets of creativity and not necessarily making them about, like, this is going to be the thing that makes me famous, and like not to always have that in your head.
Totally.
So you have different things that you do. And it's not to say that you're not going to earn money off of it, that you're not going to sell a photograph or whatever. But it's not why you do it. Like, what made you start doing it? Was it just something you enjoyed and suddenly, or was that originally what you were doing and then you went to the acting?
Yeah. So I was originally a photographer. I've been a huge believer that every human can do 1 to like 5 things very well.
Yeah.
And this is where, like, I believe in breaks. Like, I'm an actor and a photographer. I'm a photographer and an actor. I might be a painter later.
Right.
To me, it really helps you as an individual, in my opinion, to be diverse in that way.
Yeah.
So like, and if you start listening to acting podcasts, they're going to tell you, they're going to hint at, perhaps you should take up some other skills.
Yes.
Great idea.
And these are the things that you think of on your own sometimes, but sometimes somebody needs to say it to you. It's like, pour yourself into something else. Jim Carrey acts and he paints and he does. Paints. Yeah. And, right. Like,
my boyfriend, Viggo Mortensen, he's been a Renaissance man forever. He's been a photographer forever. He was a model. He's a great actor. I'm sure he's a painter too.
I didn't know he was a photographer.
Yeah. So is like Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm pretty sure she's a photographer. She does children's books.
That makes sense.
But like a lot of people are diverse. So I had picked up photography at a young age, like late teens. It was just, back in the 90s, and I had a camera, and it being in a big family, I think it truly gave me focus. Yeah. To quiet down maybe my mind. And it was just a way. I was always really observant. Like I would like stare at people on this, on the bus or train and be like, just part of my observation turned into photography. And then because I grew up watching old movies, some of my early work in photography truly is like filmic, the self-portraiture. You can see it on my website, like the self-portraits, me running through the woods. Some that comes from watching Alfred Hitchcock. So there's always like a filmic.
There's always very beautiful photos of your mother.
And then, yes, right. So then the portraiture came later. It was the view camera. There's like 5 projects at least I have in my mind that I want to continue. One of them is these view camera portraits that
they're so gorgeous. Yeah. And like, I just think, listen, people sometimes just look, they don't even observe, they're not even really doing it right. People are not observing.
They're asleep. Yeah, they're asleep or they're looking on their phones.
Stop doing it. It's like, there's so many things. Sometimes I look out my windows and I think that is so picturesque. That is so amazing. That is such an interesting, to be plugged in to your surroundings and to be in touch with the scene and the scenery and the moment and the energy of a thing at a certain time and the light and the way that it hits it. There's an ability to be in the moment with somebody who I think is a photographer, somebody who's so plugged in, to the breaths in between, and those things, right? And the things that happen between the breaths, whether it's the breaths of a person or the breaths of a bird or the breaths of the light, but it's like those moments where you go, oh my God, no, it's just right there. And there, and it's fluid. And it's like, to capture that is such a magical thing. I love photographs as well. And I took a bunch of them in Louisiana that I'm just in love with. Right. But I don't think that I think that it is a specific kind of personality that notices the beauty in everything,
Wonder. I wonder. I'm a Sagittarian. I'm the youngest of 5. I don't know. I've always been curious, an observer. Yeah. It's definitely
you are very tapped in. You are very plugged into what's going on around you, for sure.
Yeah, that's good and bad. Nosy neighbor. What's going on? But also, like, I notice, I'm like, once you're any sort of photographer or like a designer or architecture person, they pick up maybe something that other people's brains don't, just because it isn't trained to.
Right. Yeah.
They're not inclined to. But
you think you can teach somebody that?
Oh, thank you for asking. I'm teaching. I do an online class. Yes, you can teach somebody. So you probably have the same opinion about singing, right? Can you teach somebody to sing well?
I don't think I can teach anybody to sing well, but I do believe everyone can sing.
Okay. Yeah, so I think you can teach it, because I was taught to become, sure, I had the natural ability, for sure. Right. But you can become a better photographer over time by being...
For somebody who has the desire, which is all you need. Yeah.
So like I offered, so during this time, so like you were saying, to notice things, this is really a time for everyone to stop and literally smell the flowers, notice the birds. The clean air, the clear streets, take pictures, go out there.
Do you know that it's the first time in, I think, 50 years that you can see the Himalayas in India?
Crazy. The Venice canals. All of this, it's crazy.
I know. We've closed an ozone hole, apparently. Yeah.
I mean, we've got to learn a lesson here, like a big one, a few
I
big
don't know,
ones.
girl.
I don't know if we
tell
will.
you, I find this whole thing to be so fucking scary at this point. I
Mhm.
just think this whole thing is like, what is this all about? But when I find
Well,
out that the environment is being positively affected by it, it makes me really happy, you know?
yeah,
But
I
then I
know. And
worry.
I hope that we continue to. That's the question. Or are we going to be busy in a different way now? What's going to happen with flights?
Well, I don't know, but I will tell you, there are a lot of people who are losing their businesses, and I don't know about you, but I finally got in touch with somebody at unemployment, and I'm finally like, I know, let's see what happens. Like, until
Yeah.
money's in my account, I'm not going to get excited. But what I will say is that I have called every single one of my creditors. Not that there's a million, there's a couple. There's a car payment, there's a credit card, and then there's one other thing. And none of them are huge, but they're things.
Yeah.
I called them all during this. I did whatever I had to do on their website that said, do you need COVID relief? You know, hit this link.
Yeah.
I did all the things. Some people got back to me. Some people didn't.
Yeah.
Two of my creditors, my car payment, Valley National Bank, and Arizona Credit Union, which is another loan that I took out that I have like hardly anything left on, reported me to Experian, and my credit score dropped 100 points.
You're kidding me.
No. So I have not received $1 of income since March 8th.
Wow.
I contacted my creditors right away to just say, it's just going to, you know, I'm worried about giving up all of my cash for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm going to get paid again. It's scaring me. So I just need whatever relief you're willing to give me. Some of them gave 3 months. Some of them gave, two of them reported me. And I just think it was a natural like thing that they do. But my credit dropped 100 points, and you know, they can do that in one day, but try and turn it around, trying to fucking dispute it and turn it around. It's going to take who knows how long.
Oh yeah. Wow. The treachery of banks.
Yeah. I mean, I've worked my whole life to have a good credit score. Like for at least the last 10 years, like I've had exceptional credit, and it's like to have all of that work. So I know business owners are going to get, small business owners, a lot of them, I don't know what they're going to do. I know that my credit's probably fucked for a very long time because of this, through no fault of my own. And I have absolutely no idea when we're all going back to work and when I can earn money again, because I'm in entertainment. I make the majority of my money in live shows. And I just think, like, you know, I'll believe it when I see it. You know, if the money shows up in my account, great, but how long can that last?
Yeah, right.
And what's happening? Like, what? So Los Angeles, is it still as strict as it was? Because he's talking about even further. Gavin Newsom, did you ever watch True Blood?
Oh yeah.
Gavin Newsom reminds me of like a mayor or like a governor on True Blood, that any minute he's going to fly over and like turn the cameraman into a pile of goo.
So Gavin,
he's going to drop some fangs.
Yes, in San Francisco. I mean, there's some really great qualities about him.
Definitely.
For whatever reason, he's got two little tics that I've picked up on when he speaks. One is the uhs, doesn't stop.
That drives
me
crazy.
Why isn't someone? And another thing is he's got this bounce. He like bounces when he talks. It's just little actor shit I'm picking up on.
That bugs me.
But yeah, I can see where you think about the vampire quality.
With that perfect hair.
Yeah, the perfect hair.
And the perfect suit. And he's just like,
that's Gavin Newsom. He's been like that since, I mean, I've not known him, but like since I lived in the Bay Area, he was like city council. I mean, this guy is always wanted.
Ambitious.
Mm-hmm. And what I like about him is he's really about equality for all. He does seem to be a good leader, like with this crap that's going on.
Definitely. You know? People have been saying like him on the West Coast and like Como on the East Coast.
Exactly. So I'm really grateful for it. The mayor of Los Angeles also, he's been trying to do his best. I mean, because LA is the most populated city in California.
Now I heard that they're taking the homeless people out of the bridges and whatever.
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, the homeless problem here is,
it's been out of control for a long time. But
it's really been bad.
Ever since that law was passed where they couldn't break up camps.
Yeah.
Ooh, girl.
Some of the laws are too lit. Like that wasn't the best law.
That was crazy. And they managed to reverse it kind of, you know, just by being like, okay, COVID, now we have to break up the camps.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that they should be treated all humanely and given a place to go. And I think a lot of times they don't want to go. They don't want to go where you want to take them, and they don't.
Right. It's a mental health issue that is
It's tough. I get that. But at the same time, I'm sorry, driving through Los Angeles and having like so many homeless people underneath the bridges and so many homeless people everywhere.
No, it's awful.
That is not a solution.
No.
That is not a long-term solution. That is not a plan. And I don't know if you remember the actors from CSI. No,
CSI?
the Navy show.
NCIS?
Yeah. You know the little girl with the bangs?
Oh, yeah, with the black hair. Yeah, yeah.
She got attacked by a homeless guy, I think at one of those lights.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I think he either came to her house or he attacked her car. I don't know the whole story.
No.
Probably
yeah.
But yeah.
The bigger problem is mental health assistance in this country and in the city is, I don't know the whole ins and outs of it.
No.
Very intricate. But for whatever reason, we cannot solve this problem. The problem. We don't have enough solutions. We don't have enough places.
We don't have enough places, and the places that we have are not safe. And that's a lot of it, right? People don't want to stay there because they're getting beat up, they're getting robbed, there's drugs, and there's things and they feel safer on the street, and that's really bad.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider how much money we have.
Well, that's the whole thing.
Right. As a country,
Exactly. So like there's a disproportion of.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, I hear so many crazy theories about like that the government wants us all to be on some sort of a stipend. Okay. Oh God, the conspiracies are crazy. Okay. And that the COVID is actually being injected inside of us, and that it's being triggered by 5G.
Okay. So is 5G the thing on your phone?
5G is the internet, basically.
Yeah. The 5G, because I have 5G in my house. I have 2G and 5G. So the 5G right now is doing something.
So some people think it's why we're having the vivid dreams. Some people think that it's.
Oh, that's amazing! I can't wait for this TV show to come out.
Oh my God, it's 5G. So crazy. And there's like all these videos that are being put up about how how COVID was like made in a laboratory, and whether it was
that's a big one,
or whether or not it was made here, and whether or not it's a bioweapon. But but what the problem is that a lot of doctors are coming out and saying that they're trying to create this vaccine, and people are trying to get rich, and that we're all going to be forced to take vaccines, which actually I see happening and is scaring me. But because I don't want to be forced to take a vaccine. I really don't. I don't want anybody forcing me to do that. If I want to do that, then fine. I don't want to have to do that. That's I just feel like it's not fair.
Right. It's like you don't have to take the flu shot if you don't want.
Yeah, it's like I'm not worried about it.
Right.
But the thing was saying is that it's like this big sort of vaccination program, and that they're trying to create a Borg community, a society, and that AI is about to take over. It's like the craziest shit ever. But what's happening is these videos are being taken down by YouTube.
So there's
whereas like if they were total just theater and like complete
what's the problem?
Why take them down?
Is Facebook taking them down too? But that's
everybody's taking them down. Twitter.
I don't know if they're thinking it's like, is it adding to paranoia?
I mean, the thing is I feel like we've been so compliant. I don't feel like anybody, because there were 12 people marching in front of Cuomo's like office like last week. Like literally nobody's even. You know what I think? I think most people are like getting that extra $600 in unemployment. So let's say they're getting $300 a week plus $600. Yeah. Some people are making $1,000 a week to just stay home.
Yeah, sure.
And people are like, okay,
yeah,
fuck it. And I'm
like, I need a break, man.
I know. And the thing is like, I don't even necessarily disagree as much as it's like, but what am I just never going to perform again? Like that's so upsetting. Like I didn't even say goodbye.
No, I think you will perform again. I just think it might be a little different.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's going to be like smaller venues, but let's be clear here. This is a cousin of SARS, this virus.
Right. I know.
So this thing, supposedly, I mean, the CDC had done like a test run on this pandemic situation like a year ago, and the whole world failed. Not just like everybody. Nobody had anything in place.
No, we didn't have anything in place. It was ridiculous. Like nobody knew what the fuck they were going to do.
But it's kind of like they kind of been it's called like a virus detective. I mean, that's not the right word, but just like a crime detective. They have viral detectives that watch the stuff that they know it was going to happen. There's a pattern with viruses, apparently.
Yeah.
So it's called like a viral, I might not say the right word, right, but like a viral detective that's watching. So apparently this cousin of SARS they knew it was going to happen, if that makes sense. So there was a lot of lackadaisical viewpoints across the world, I think.
Oh my God. It's so
it's
scary.
crazy, but now
these
is
kids
truly
are
a pandemic.
I
And
know. And do you think so California is going to open later than everybody, right?
yeah, so right now, California, like, some of the stores are open, but it's all for curbside pickup.
But there's no like plans to open hair salons or I'm
Not in
just saying that as
phase
an
one. We're in phase one.
right, because phase one isn't for us either. But I'm telling you, like, I don't know
Yeah.
when.
I know.
Gyms, forget it. Yoga
Nah.
studios, I can't even imagine.
Gyms, I mean, Planet Fitness is always, I'm a Planet Fitness member, and they, to be honest with you, they're always super clean. So they had already kind of put out a video of like what they're going to do. Like the machines are going to be like 6 feet, apart. They're going to have like washing thing at every station.
Yeah, Planet Fitness is going to crush it.
Yeah, because that's why they were always cleaning before this craziness.
They were great.
Right?
I teach, 120 degree yoga. Forget it. 120-degree yoga with a bunch of like dripping, like.
And you're right next to the person. You'd have
But the thing is I will tell you, that last day before the whole fucking world shut down.
Yeah.
I taught probably 5 classes because everybody was starting to sub their classes. They were like, I'm not coming in. And I was like, I'll teach. And you know how busy those classes were? People were, and I wasn't worried one jot. I don't know why. I just feel like, and I know that this is stupid and that's not to say that every single person, but there is just something about yoga people. Like, I'm not worried that they're giving me the plague. That yoga people is like where I catch it. I just don't feel like that. I feel like if like a bus full of yoga people can come into a room 110 degrees and just sweat it out and be together. I don't know. Like, do people die from that? I just don't feel like they will.
I'll be honest with you, full disclosure, hot yoga and me didn't mix. I took it twice. I got sick both times.
It's because
I don't know, the petri dish. Maybe somebody's germ got on me, but I was
it is an acquired taste. There's no question.
No, but like literally I picked up a bug or something.
No, you're kidding me.
No, both times. I don't know the whole sweat thing. And then like 2 days later, I'm like, I have a sore throat. But I don't know.
It could be because your body's detoxifying them.
I think that's what it was, maybe.
Yeah. It's like releasing whatever was already.
Yeah, exactly. It was like,
I believe that for sure. I've gotten massages, like really deep tissue massages, and gotten sick.
Yeah. Because it's releasing.
Yeah.
I'm going to the Cairo tomorrow, speaking of. I mean,
someone's touching you?
They're open. Yeah,
I'm surprised because there's I want to do like.
I have to go. My like whole neck is killing me, and like
my neck is killing me too. So 3 Damn Blondes.
Yeah, 3 Damn Blondes.
Where can people find your photography?
AnnMarieDonahue.com.
AnnMarieDonahue.com. It'll be up there so people can see the spelling.
And I'm also offering classes, by the way, if anyone wants to do like a level 1 photo class. So I did doing some during this time. Yeah, so I have a group of 3. We're gonna move up to a level 2, but they already have like a niche. I teach it from an art point of view angle.
I love that.
Partly tech and partly art.
It's beautiful. And I think it's such a great time, right? Because people are home and they could pick up a hobby like this, and you'll never ever not do it. You'll take beautiful photos that you can frame in your house forever and ever. What how do they find that? The same place? Your website?
Same place. It's all there. Yep.
Okay.
And just look at my work. I have a ton of work up there.
It's beautiful, your work. And I love you. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah. By the way, I love your album too, by the way. I wanted to tell you. You're beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We're writing more. Mark and I are writing more.
Good. I was wondering, I was going to ask you, like, are you writing more?
Oh, yeah. We're just starting to. We weren't for a long time.
Right.
And then just started to again. So it's good. We're going to be making more music. I'm putting a band together. I've got a lot of people contacting me about that. So I think we're going to be playing more shows. I think it probably brought me back to this whole thing, realizing that you just need to like, what are you fighting it for? Just go back and start playing,
Yeah, and just give yourself breaks. So like if you don't feel like it one day, you might feel like it the next day. That's the thing about this pandemic is everyone needs to be really gentle on themselves. Like, I haven't been creating as much art as I could, and that's okay.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. It's like everybody feels like they have to be doing something or else like what? And it's, it'll work out. I can't wait to come back to Los Angeles though.
I know, I can't wait too.
I know, it'll be amazing. And we'll be able to like spend time together and Annie Donahue, thank you so much for doing this. I love you, and I will talk to you very soon.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.